Hello and a warm witchy welcome to Ceridwen's Corner of crime, cold case, mystery, perpetrator and divination. So there is a trigger warning to this video. Viewer discretion is advised because there are themes of kidnap and torture discussed within this content. I always advise for people to do their own research and draw upon their own conclusions. The content of this video is based on the information that I have found, because this is a current situation, this is a live case, and investigation is still continuing and underway. So with that said, we are going to be talking about this man, Timothy Haslett, age 39, from Excelsior Springs, Missouri. Timothy is being held on bond as he faces charges of first-degree rape, kidnap and second-degree assault. So Timothy allegedly picked up a 22-year-old young female, and this apparently was in Kansas City. He then allegedly took her home and kept her captive in a small room in a basement of his home. He allegedly beat and raped her over the time she's been held captive, inflicted other injuries through whipping, being handcuffed at wrists and ankles, also kept her in a metal soldered collar which restricted her breathing. So on or around the 7th of October this month, this brave 22-year-old woman managed to escape while Timothy was out. It's not clear how she did this, but the main thing is she did. She got to the first neighbour's house, whereby she crawled up the steps, apparently looking emaciated, covered in bruises, with latex lingerie on and a steel collar around her neck. She managed to faintly communicate the words "help me" to the neighbour. However, when the neighbour stated she was going to call the police, the young lady stated "he will kill us both," and probably through fear left, but managed to get to a second neighbour's house. The second neighbour's mother was actually childminding at that home. And when the mother opened the door, she seen this young lady pleading for help, who stated she had been held captive and raped. The neighbour helped her, fed her and put a blanket around her and notified the police and medical services. They arrived quietly as to not alert Timothy if he were to return back home and flee. The 22-year-old was taken to hospital for assessment. The police surrounded Timothy's house and arrested him on unrelated animal control violation, whereby they could keep him out of the house and begin to search before any evidence could be compromised. There is allegedly notes of barrels being removed from the home and other evidence taken from this scene. So I'm going to be doing a bit of a divination session on Timothy to see if there is other energy that I'm feeling that he has committed these similar crimes before, what type of person he was. So the information that I do have on him is that the young lady did indicate that there were others, other than herself, who didn't survive, but there is no supporting evidence to corroborate this yet. I do know that Timothy has custody of a very young son, and he is no longer in the relationship with the child's mother. I know that he has worked at some point, but there is some very grey information that he may have gave up work because of a heart condition. But like I said, I'm not sure, exactly what the details surrounding his career is. I know that they found several guns in his property, and people described him as a loner. He sort of tinkered a lot with cars, and cars would sort of come and be towed away. So that could have been potentially some type of hobby of his. So that's basically all I know about him. So I'm going to commence with my energy read. Okay, so while I'm setting up here, this is for entertainment purposes only. This is my spiritual perspective and perception only. This is not all based on fact. My disclaimer is this is for respectful entertainment purposes only. And now we're going to look at Timothy Haslett's energy and see if there is any type of indication that this man has been involved in other similar type crimes. So thank you, Spirit. Thank you, Spirit. And we're just going to get the energy here. Okay. So, Timothy Haslett. Energy on Timothy. 39 years old, Missouri. Can I have an energy build spirit on Timothy? Ooh, so the energy that I feel with Timothy is quite dark. I feel that he has got a very dark sense of looking at life. I feel that he is somebody who definitely has a feel for macabre. He has sick fantasies, very much in line with torture, bondage, and the infliction of pain, which of course makes sense to what has happened to this young lady. I feel that he'd got internal anger. I'm also feeling he's the type of person who could potentially have very strong dogmatic viewpoints. Somebody who has a very closed-minded opinion. I feel he holds a lot of resentment. And I feel that he is also potentially somebody who holds a lot of prejudice. Potentially there could be some, and I got to be careful with this because, you know, ultimately this is just a spiritual perspective of mine. But the prejudice, I feel, could be quite strong against certain groups in his mind. There's potentially here, what I'm feeling is potential racism. Because I get this, he's just this hate, this build-up of hate and energy. He's also quite embittered as well. I would say and allege, in my spiritual perspective, that his wife, ex-partner, mother of child, whichever she may be, I feel she probably would have had a very, very difficult time with this man. Probably, I'm feeling like, would mess with her head, would definitely play mind games. It would feel like almost like mental torture. I would also say potentially there would be some like sexual depravity, and sort of like undermining her, making her feel worthless. So, you know, like I said, this is alleged. I'm not saying this is fact, but this is the type of energy that I'm feeling with this man. I feel that he has done more than this. I would feel there's been significant build up to what he have done altogether. I'm sort of feeling that he's probably and you know, I'm not saying this is right or wrong, but he's the type of person I would say that has definitely sought sex worker services, where he could sort of push the boundaries and the limits a little bit more to satisfy and give himself that gratification. I would say there is definitely a very keen interest in certain levels of pornography, and I feel that even though they, you know, in what he's been accused of, the sexual part, but that pain and suffering that he's inflicting gives him, if not the same or more, gratification seeing that person suffer. I feel that he has got this superiority complex over his victim, and I really do feel that there's been more to this over the years. I don't think this is his very first crime of this nature, and I would say that there is going to be more being unveiled about this guy. I would also say that this is early days, I know, to be saying all of this, but I really do believe that if they look hard enough, they're going to connect him to other crimes. Now, what I am concerned about is that he, you know, he's not pleading guilty, but potentially there are other things that he has done, and I know this is heinous, but there could be things of a much deeper level that he has done where people may not, like that young lady said, have escaped him. And the worry for me is that if they don't really look deep into this and get the evidence, that he will not be charged for those crimes, and he needs to stay behind bars. He's a very dangerous, sick-minded individual. Now, I do believe, and I have faith and hope that, you know, law enforcement will definitely dig deeper into everything, and, you know, hopefully things will come to light that should come to light. I'm just going to look at the cards, because that energy read I've got off him already would say to me this is a repeat offender. So I'm going to just move that there. I think I'm going to turn these on as well. And I just need a little bit more light so you can see the cards as I pull them. Okay, so what am I going to use? I think I'm going to use my vampire. It's really weird because as I'm shuffling these, I just keep feeling like watching their life waste away, having no intention of keeping the life going, letting life deteriorate, letting life's last breath leave that the person. I can no want or desire to keep them naturally living. Just keep going until they go. And in a weird sense, oh gosh, I'm also seeing like other torturous things too. I would say, you know, these people are almost, and I'm saying people allegedly because it's just natural coming out. It just seems plural to me. I keep getting this energy of taking them very close to the edge of death and then letting them suffer more. Horrible, horrible, horrible. This man is a parasite. But you know what? A parasite actually has a reason and a purpose. This individual, again, is another sick perpetrator, allegedly. Oh, gosh. Let's have a look. Now, this is interesting because when you look at this here, it's almost, he's got his hide tied behind one back. And then he's sort of waving that cloth of surrender. So to me, I feel he's hiding a lot. And it feels to me like he keeps his cards close to his chest and he will come across as, you know, giving like maybe so much of a tailspin of a story, but there's a lot more behind those scenes. He's hiding his cards, which suggests to me that, again, he has definitely, in my opinion, done more crimes. He is someone who is very self-absorbed, self-assured, taking greed what he wants. That drinking of blood, that life form, and I mean that metaphorically. I don't mean he's drinking blood. What I'm saying is that he is someone who has no regard for people around him. He's probably the type of person who always feels he's in the right and can't be told. Now, this is suggesting to me what I said earlier. I feel that others have passed away. And this is showing me that energy of their life form being taken. This, I feel, is this very strong lady who managed to escape the medical staff. It's almost like I'm feeling like that energy of her being sort of given that motivation to run. And I feel that, you know, she's gone through a lot of trauma, but she's a strong, strong lady. And the information that she gives could hold so many keys to other unsolved crimes, either in Kansas or Missouri. So hopefully this image depicts him behind bars, looking out but not being able to carry through anything else. There's going to be more. This, I feel, is potentially his, and I got to be careful. I feel this would probably be someone he was in a potential relationship with, and I would feel self-harm, feeling in despair, and probably living with some type of mental condition that, you know, has been quite excruciating for them. Look at this anger and aggression, and this is within him. this is him, his anger, his aggression, his internalization, and how he takes all that out on defenseless victims. Here again, you'll see that, you know, I don't think he is able to hold a healthy relationship. And again, I just keep getting that indicator of self-harm. And I feel that this here is the comeuppance for this guy after a long period of him getting away with stuff. And I would say it's been quite a while that things have sort of built up over time. I would probably say he's got away with lots of different things for years, and he's also been the type of person to, you know, get sexual satisfaction out of accessing like different sexual services that he could get hold of. And I think his depravity have increased over time. I do feel that he has potentially, allegedly, in my spiritual opinion, abducted others. Oh, there we go. There he is with that little tiny plant in his hand. Him holding on to life, and that's a confirmation for me. I'm going to say there's probably multiple. Oh, let me see, I'm feeling dark hair in many of the females' energies that I'm feeling. Dark hair, dark eyes. I don't know whether this might be a signature type with him. Dark hair, dark eyes, young. He feels that oh, look at him. I hope he gets behind bars and he stays behind bars, because that's where he deserves to be. Horrendous. Because I just feel with him that as I'm talking, the more and more I feel, look, it's almost like he's dead behind the eyes himself, soulless. Or if he does have a soul, it's evil, you know? Because I believe all of us have a soul, and I feel some have a very evil soul. Oh, I feel only one victim has been successful in escaping. They're a plural, I'm feeling, plural. And I don't, like, I know, like, the young 22-year-old indicated that there were others maybe with her, but this is a long time in the past. I'm feeling previous years. There's something he's been doing and getting away with. I'm not sure if all of them has been trapped in his house or houses wherever he's lived, but I do feel there are other burial areas, and I keep feeling woodlands with this guy. Secluded woodlands. That's where I keep being drawn to. Secluded woodlands. He feels that people really won't care about the people that he has allegedly, in my spiritual opinion, made go missing. He is full of resentment. Look at the face on that. He is somebody, look at all that anger. See, I still, look, I think there are definitely others in like secluded areas, but I feel woodland more than anything, maybe like a marshy type area, somewhere where it would sort of be very difficult for those bodies. I keep feeling boggy as well, so I don't know whether he's had access to some like boggy area that would potentially be a site. This man has just got so much internal energy of a very low vibrational frequency. So I'm going to close it down here, because what I feel is he is a multiple offender, serial offender. I feel that his victim types would definitely, in my opinion, have dark hair, dark eyes. They would be young in age. And I feel that this person's depravity hasn't just started in September of this year. I'm feeling there is longevity, there's a history of him, and this being his ultimate fantasy is keeping a life contained, tortured sadism, and feeling that person, feeling their pain, feeling their desperation, feeling their fear. It's horrendous what I feel when I feel him. And it's like really hard as well. So that's why I need to shut it down, because I don't want to feel too much of this person's energy. And I'll have to do a cleansing as well after this too. So I just wanted to say I appreciate you all so very much. I thank you for feeding in and watching, and have a wonderful morning, noon or night wherever you are around the world. Take care. Blessings from Ceridwen.